Bill O'Reilly here, Friday, October 23rd, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. Big buzz about the debate last night. Right after it, I was on television, BillO'Reilly.com, and our other outlets, to give my instant analysis of the debate. Take a listen. Okay, so I'm going to give you the overall, and then we'll get a little specific. President Trump won the debate by sheer force of personality. Now, if you are a Biden supporter, you think he won the debate. If you are a Trump supporter, you feel he won the debate. But if you step back and you look at the two men as leaders, Donald Trump had more power behind his presentation. But I have to say that Joe Biden didn't really falter. There were no mental acuity issues. He said what he wanted to say in a fairly straightforward fashion. Now, the arch was that Trump is incompetent, and on the other side, that Biden is just a politician, an old-time hack, and a corrupt man. And there we have the singular part of the debate that really matters, the corruption issue. As you may know, a business partner to Hunter Biden came out and said that Joe Biden actively was involved in enriching his son by using the office of the vice presidency in foreign nations. All right? That's added onto the Hunter Biden computer, the hard drive that contained all kinds of things that heavily imply, that Hunter Biden was making millions of dollars because his father was vice president. All right. So that shrouded over the entire debate. Now, clearly, the NBC News moderator, Kristen Welker, who did a good job, didn't want to talk about that. And here's the proof. Ms. Welker had no specific questions about it. None. Incurious. All right. Now, earlier today, we heard Leslie Stahl, because President Trump put out the 60 Minutes interview, tell the president that all the accusations against Joe Biden are, quote unquote, unverified. And that's why Leslie Stahl, wasn't really interested in talking about that. More of my post-debate analysis coming right up in the message of the day. Right back. How bad is your back, knee, or neck pain? Mine was pretty bad. I played 4 sports when I was younger, and it's catching up with me now. I tried a lot of stuff to manage the pain. Ointments, pain relievers, fish oil, nothing worked. So a doctor friend of mine recommended Omega XL, and here's why. The underlying cause of painful, achy joints and muscles is inflammation. The key to knock down inflammation before it causes damage is backed by 35 years of research, and that's what Omega XL does. The doctor also says, quote, I can't write any prescription that comes close to what Omega XL accomplishes. She was right. So if you're suffering with painful, achy joints and muscles, stop wasting money and switch to Omega XL. Order Omega XL now and get a second bottle free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Bill, OmegaXL.com/Bill, or you can call 800-844-4888. 800-844-4888. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Let's continue with my post-debate analysis given live last night right after the exposition in Nashville, Tennessee. But then Trump did something very interesting in the last 20 minutes of the debate, and this is why I think he won. Every time Biden said, I'm going to do, which he did every 2 minutes, and he was not specific, go to my website, I'm going to do this, Trump just goes, hey, you had 8 years, you didn't do anything. You had 8 years, why didn't you do it then? And at the end, Biden finally said, well, there was a Republican Congress, but he got battered. Trump battered him with that. Hey, Joe, you've been in government for 47 years, federal government, you don't do anything. And then when they brought up race, and this surprised Ms. Welker, all right, Trump said, I'm the most effective president for blacks since Abraham Lincoln. All right. And then he peeled off a number of things that he's done to help the African American community, which are all true. Okay? Welker tried to inject the crazy stuff about the border crossings being rapists and all that, but it didn't really resonate. And then Biden was pinned back because Biden's crime bill in the 80s hurt African Americans. But now Biden's saying, I don't want anybody to go to jail because of narcotics offenses. I don't want anybody going to jail. So you can sell heroin, you can do whatever you want. I don't want you in jail. And that was Barack Obama's policy. It's a nonviolent crime. Don't put him in jail. Let him sell heroin to the 14-year-old. Let him sell methamphetamine, crack cocaine. Go ahead. Let him. What do you think these gangs in Chicago gunning everybody down are doing? What do you think they're doing? Now, Trump should have absolutely leapt into that and said, Joe, you're so soft on crime, you don't have one endorsement from any law enforcement agency. Donald Trump missed opportunities. That was a big one. I say, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, 30, 40 years ago, you want to put every black person in jail, and now you want to let everybody out. What's the matter with you? You have no policy at all. And the cops endorse me. And then on the border, when they did the cage thing, Obama put them in cages. No, you put them in cages. The same thing. We've heard it a million times. But why didn't Donald Trump say to Biden, in that debate, you said you'd pay the health care costs of every illegal alien that comes to this country? Why didn't he do that? I'm sitting there going, come on, that's the crusher. So the president was prepared at one level, but he didn't knock Biden out. Knocked him down, didn't knock him out. Biden didn't hurt Trump this time around. Didn't hurt him. Last time, Trump hurt himself. Biden didn't hurt him this time. Now, Biden held his own, as I said, held his own. And I think Trump probably, if you were looking at this and you were a blank slate, you would go, I'm going to vote for the more authoritative, powerful man to run the country. So in that regard, as I said at the top, Donald Trump won the debate. But again, you're not going to get any consensus by anybody who supports Joe Biden that actually happened. And the final thing is, if in the next 10 days it is shown beyond a reasonable doubt, even if the media doesn't cover it, I will, and others will too. Talk radio, Fox News, okay? If it's shown, Joe Biden, that he used his power as vice president to enrich his family, no American should vote for him. So that's it. Who do you think won the debate? Write me at bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Coming up, something you might not know. Investors, are you seeking steady cash flow, ready to diversify? Have you considered a proven real estate investment fund? NRIA is one of the nation's leading realty specialists and offers 10% annualized monthly payouts, with bonuses targeted to 21%. That's right, you could receive steady 10% return monthly payments with bonuses. They specialize in realty investing done right. Even use your 401k or IRA to invest. NRIA's 15-year track record and $1.2 billion in new construction development backs you. So learn how you can invest in this hard asset real estate cash flow fund today and receive 10% annualized monthly payouts with bonuses. This is something savvy investors should research and consider. Please call now, 201-210-2727, 201-210-2727, or visit nria.net.
An offer to buy or sell any security is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. National is a real estate development firm. See us at nria.net.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 105 years ago today, more than 25,000 women took to the streets of Midtown Manhattan demanding the right to vote. The march was the culmination of an ongoing battle dating back to before the Civil War. In July 1848, suffrage activists gathered in Seneca Falls, New York, for the first women's rights convention. The event kicked off a nationwide movement. Speakers included Frederick Douglass and other prominent abolitionists. The movement lost some momentum years later when the country's attention turned to abolishing slavery. But after the Civil War in 1869, Susan B. Anthony founded the National Woman Suffrage Association. It quickly became one of the fastest growing political organizations in the USA. Believe it or not, the group witnessed widespread opposition from both men and women. In the early 1900s, Josephine Dodge, a pioneer in childhood care, formed the National Association opposed to woman suffrage, claiming the vote would distract women from their, quote, motherly duties. The group had chapters in Massachusetts, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and most southern states. Their national pamphlet states, quote, the majority of women do not wish to vote. It is unwise, unfair, unjust to force upon a majority of women a measure which is obnoxious to their ideals of womanhood, unquote. By 1915, public sentiment had turned in favor of women's rights. By 1917, New York State granted women the right to vote. The 19th Amendment was passed less than 3 years later. And here's something else you might not know. The same day thousands of women walked down Fifth Avenue, the New York Times ran a story against the march. Wrote the Times, quote, if they get the vote, they will play havoc for themselves and society. It is not possible to think of women as soldiers, sailors, police patrolmen, or firemen, unquote. Wow, how times have changed. Back after this. My go-to financial tech research executive, Jeff Brown, has a top-notch newsletter that helps us profit from the exploding tech market. He provides investors like you and me with Wall Street's inside intelligence, knowing how rigged the whole thing is. Jeff's mission with Brownstone Research is to stack the deck in our favor so we can grow our wealth and beat Wall Street. He researches the best technology companies, the newest trends, the biggest opportunities before they appear on Wall Street's radar. And that's why his newsletter far outperforms most hedge funds. He's recommended the number one S&P stock of 2016, 18, and 19. Quite a record. Now, Jeff's subscribers have seen a 432% gain in 41 days with Synthrox, with DocuSign 332% with CRISPR. And the winner list goes on and on. So please go to bill5g.com right now. That's bill5g.com, and you'll be happy you did. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.